What's going on today? We are talking about Knox area hospitals. We are looking at a 50-mile radius from downtown and going out and checking out what hospitals are available, what areas are they related to, etc. So let's dive in and get started. All right, so as I mentioned, this video is about hospitals in the Knoxville area within a 50-mile radius of downtown. So we're gonna kind of start from downtown and then spread out. But here's the Cliff Notes version. The Cliff Notes version is Knoxville itself has three, we're gonna talk the top three hospitals. The top three hospitals in Knoxville, UT Medical is ranked number 1. It is ranked number 3 in Tennessee. Parkwest Medical Center is ranked number 2 in Knoxville and number 7 in the state. And then Fort Sanders is ranked number 3 in the Knoxville area and number 10 in the state. So those are our top 3 area hospitals for the Knox metro area and kind of East Tennessee in general. A second cliff note is that we've got one children's hospital is located downtown. And then a third cliff note to all this, at the very end, we're going to talk about VA clinic options. And in the Knox area, we have about 11 VA clinics within a 50-mile radius of downtown Knoxville. So let's get started. All right, let's start with number 1, which is UT Medical Center. We call it UT for the most part. That's what we call it, UT Medical Center. U.S. News and World Report. So when I'm talking about rankings, they're strictly from U.S. News and World Report. U.S. News and World Report says about UT Medical Center, it's number 3 in Tennessee. It says, the University of Tennessee Medical Center didn't rank nationally in any specialties, but is high performing in 12 procedures and conditions that include leukemia, lung cancer, prostate cancer, and stroke. So as far as location, University of Tennessee Medical Center is literally just across the river from campus. It is just past downtown, maybe 5 minutes, if that. And it's huge. And just, personally, my personal experience with this, I've had a number of family members that have been treated there. My sister, she lives in Talbot. So that's about 45 minutes east of Knoxville, and all 3 of her children, she has delivered at UT Medical Center. I myself have had some stuff done there. So anyways, it's kind of the hallmark hospital here. And again, ranked number 1. Again, some of those high performing areas: leukemia, lymphoma, and melanoma, colon cancer surgery, lung cancer surgery, prostate cancer surgery. Again, all high-performing. Abdominal aortic aneurysm repair, heart attack, heart failure, all high-performing. Colon cancer surgery, high-performing. Stroke, high-performing. Hip replacement, knee replacement, high-performing. Chronic obstructive pulmonary, COPD, high-performing. Lung cancer, high-performing. Pneumonia, high-performing. So lots of area. Prostate cancer surgery, as mentioned. So that is the University of Tennessee Medical Center. Next up, we've got Fort Sanders. Fort Sanders is also very close to downtown Knoxville. It's just kind of behind campus, on campus, kind of like you could walk to Fort Sanders from campus and vice versa. It is number 10 in Tennessee and number 3 in Knoxville. I did it in this order because we're kind of going from the center, like downtown out-ish by distance, why they put UT as the closer to Fort Sanders than downtown, I don't know, but whatever. I mapped it and everything. But anyways, Fort Sanders is also just next to Children's Hospital, which we're going to talk about in a second. But in terms of high performing, again, rated number 7 in the state of Tennessee. Fort Sanders, number 10 in Tennessee, number 3 in Knoxville, in 7 areas, 7 of high performance. So 3 in Knoxville, 10 in Tennessee, and 7 areas of high performance. Those high performing areas, according to U.S. News and World Report, are, all right, those high performing areas for Fort Sanders: leukemia, lymphoma, and melanoma, colon cancer surgery, heart attack, colon cancer surgery, heart attack, hip replacement, knee replacement, stroke, chronic pulmonary, COPD. So those are Fort Sanders high-performing areas. It is not nearly as huge. It's funny when you think about the size of UT Medical Center versus Fort Sanders. It's much smaller in size. Location very similar, just one is on one side of the river and one is on the other. Right next to and the neighbor of Fort Sanders is East Tennessee Children's Hospital. This is our hospital. It is not nationally ranked. It is Tennessee's, one of Tennessee's children's hospitals. So just side note on that, it's just past downtown, literally just next to Fort Sanders. Tennova North Knoxville Medical Center. Again, we're going from kind of closer into Knoxville and out. Tennova North Medical is in Powell. It's high performing in several areas. Those areas are prostate cancer, heart failure, hip replacement, knee replacement, pneumonia, and prostate cancer surgery. So it is north of downtown Knoxville, kind of northwest a little bit, but just up 75, Interstate 75. Another one that I want to point out, or number 2 in Knoxville and number 7 in Tennessee, if we go west, is Parkwest Medical Center. And Parkwest, actually, I've had no surgery there. I broke my nose in college playing intramural basketball, which I had no business playing because I'm 5'4", and I was playing with some dudes that were like 6 feet 9 inches, 6 feet 7, and I'm over here like, yeah, this is fun. Boom, nose broken. Nose broken. So I had to have surgery, which this comes up later, but I had to ended up having to have surgery on it once I, whatever. It was horrible. So they are high performing in 9 procedures. This is Parkwest. This includes colon cancer, prostate cancer, heart attack, heart bypass surgery, heart failure, colon cancer surgery, stroke, hip replacement, knee replacement, COPD. So that's Parkwest. Also, my cousin's children have been delivered at Parkwest. My mom's had surgery at Parkwest. I myself have had surgery at Parkwest. Parkwest, again, smaller than UT, but it's a big hospital. It's a significant hospital in terms of area. That's like West Knoxville, Cedar Bluff. So anyways, another one that's interesting was not on U.S. News and World Report's list for hospitals in Knoxville is Tennova, that's at Turkey Creek. And Turkey Creek is in West Knoxville. It's not in the U.S. News rankings. This is technically in the Farragut area. And it's literally in Turkey Creek. Like you could go to the Super Walmart from there or the Super Target or whatever. All right, so now we're going to shift out of kind of Knoxville and we're going to just kind of continue on our path out. Next up, we've got Blount Memorial. Blount Memorial is in Maryville. It does not have any rankings. It's a general medical and surgical facility. It's about 30-ish minutes, depending on traffic and what's going on that day. If you're going from downtown, you're probably taking Alcoa Highway, and Alcoa Highway currently has, at the time of this video, it's August of 2024, is under construction, and it's been under construction it was under construction in August of 23, in August of 22, and August of 20, I'm just telling you, like, it's under construction, okay? So you can, think, well, probably 30 minutes out. No rankings on this one, and no areas of high performance, pretty much all average rankings on everything. For Blount Memorial, it is kind of the hospital for Maryville. So that's Blount Memorial Medical Center. And this would involve, like, if you're thinking, okay, well, what's nearby that? Maryville, Townsend, Wallen, Greenback, Friendsville. So kind of, if you look at Maryville on a map and you see like, oh, Townsend over here, Wallen over here, Greenback this way. So those are kind of all closer things. Now, kind of though, all of those areas, it's a toss up besides Greenback. Greenback is, closer to Blount Memorial. But if you're on the east side of Maryville, you're probably going to be going to UT Medical Center if it's something major. Next up, Oak Ridge has Methodist Medical Center, and it is high performing in several areas. It's high performing in 3 areas. And those are heart failure, COPD, and pneumonia. And in terms of proximity to downtown, you're about 25 miles from downtown, about a 33-minute drive, depending again on traffic. You could take 40 to Pellissippi. You could kind of take back roads over from downtown Knoxville if you're thinking of that. But again, high performing areas, heart failure, COPD, and pneumonia. When it comes to Methodist Medical and areas that would be close, this would be Oak Ridge. It is in Oak Ridge. Oliver Springs, Claxton, Clinton, and Kingston are all relatively close to Methodist Medical Center. Next up, we have Fort Loudoun Medical Center, and it is in the name. You hear Fort Loudoun, which would indicate it's in Loudoun County, and it is involved with Lenoir City. Anytime you hear Loudoun, that is Lenoir City. Lenoir City is located within Loudoun County, and this itself, Fort Loudoun Medical Center, is in Lenoir City. In terms of proximity to downtown Knoxville, you're about 30 minutes west, a little south from Knoxville, about 25 miles. You're pretty much straight down 40 to this 40 and 75 split. So you go 40, 75, and you're going to split down to 75, like almost like you're going towards Atlanta. Again, about 30 minutes past. No rankings here. Some average rankings, some below average, and a few things in the no rankings at all and others. In terms of what this is close to, again, we're talking about Fort Loudoun Medical Center. This includes Lenore City, Tellico Village, Loudoun, Friendsville, Philadelphia, Kingston, so stuff west of Knoxville. So that is Fort Loudoun. Next up, we have Leconte. So we're going to the other side. We're going east. Again, I did these mapping based on distance from downtown. So these are kind of in order of the distance from downtown, which is why we're kind of bopping around. So next up, you've got Leconte Medical Center. It is in Sevierville. It is about 45 minutes from downtown Knoxville, 31 miles. Again, all depending on traffic and the routes you take, because some of these routes go roundabout. Leconte Medical Center, nothing in, an above average rank. You've got mostly average, a couple below average rankings when it comes to Leconte Medical Center. In terms of areas that are close to Leconte Medical Center, this would be like Sevierville, which is where it's located, Kodak, Seymour, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Wares Valley. And again, those kind of in between downtown to Sevierville, like your Boyd's Creek, your Seymour, Wares Valley, all of those are kind of a toss up. Like, would you go to UT Medical or would you go to Leconte? It would obviously depend on, what your situation is, but some of those are a little bit of a gray area, but that is Leconte Medical Center. That is the Sevierville Hospital. All right, we're gonna go northeast a little bit. North kind of. We're gonna go to Tennova Healthcare, which is Jefferson Memorial. It's located in Jefferson City, Tennessee. And this one has no rankings, mostly average and below average on things that were noted by US News rankings. Locations that are close to this, it's in Jefferson City, so it's close to Jefferson City, Dandridge, Newmarket, Talbot, White Pine, Kodak, Strawberry Plains. I have been in the ER at this hospital because when I broke my nose, I was at Carson Newman, which is in Jefferson City. I was a senior in college. It was my last semester, and that's when the tragic event happened that I broke my nose and I had to be taken to the ER. Then I had surgery at Parkwest. But all that to be said, I was in the ER at Tennova, Jefferson Memorial, and it was fine. It's pretty small, comparatively to, it's at one stoplight on 11E, and you're like, oh, there's the hospital, and it's gone. All right, so that's Tennova Jefferson Memorial. Next up, we have Tennova Healthcare lafollette. If you want to know how to say that, some people call it lafollette. It's lafollette. It looks like lafollette, but we say lafollette. It is pretty much directly north of downtown Knoxville. You got about a 50-minute drive, 40 miles north of Knoxville. No rankings in high performance, just mostly average and above average on things that were noted by US News rankings. Areas around this would be LaFollette, Jacksboro, Caryville, Speedwell. It's kind of pretty rural area. If you went to Google Maps and you put LaFollette in, you're gonna see like, oh, there's all these names. But the major cities would be like LaFollette, Jacksboro, and Speedwell for sure. Caryville's up there too. All right, next up we have Roane Medical Center. So now we're going towards Oak Ridge. It's in Harriman. So past Oak Ridge, this is west, pretty harsh west of downtown Knoxville. You're about a 1 hour, 45-minute drive, depending on traffic, to Harriman. This is just another kind of hospital option in that location. Nothing ranked here. You got average, non-rated, and below average in some areas. And then when it comes to what you're close to, Harriman is where it's located. That's Kingston, that's Rockwood. So pretty much past that area, you're getting into the central time zone, which, yeah, we're getting into central time. Knoxville's in east. So I didn't go anything past, something that would be in a central time, because it's not, like, you're probably not going to the hospital in central time if you're in eastern. But anyways, unless you're just that close to the line, whatever. So anyways, so Roane Medical, Harriman, Kingston, Rockwood, west of Knoxville. All right, we're gonna go back east. That's Morristown. Again, you're like, Haley, why are we bopping around? Because again, I did it based on distance from downtown. So downtown Knoxville, just to kind of anchor us somehow, because most of these aren't ranked. And so, we're just going by distance to downtown. So Morristown-hamblen Healthcare. This is east of Knoxville. You can see on the map exactly where that is, a little bit over an hour of a drive. You got about 47 miles away. And actually, Morristown-hamblen is high performing in COPD, and other areas were ranked as below average or average, mostly averages, but there was that high performance in COPD. So Morristown-hamblen, would be relevant for Morristown, Alpha, Bean Station, Whitesburg, Morrisburg, Bulls Gap, maybe Talbot. You've got you know, Russellville. So some of that stuff that's like east. So if, again, look on the map, look at Morristown and see kind of little spots around, then Morristown-hamblen is going to be your best option. My family's from Morristown, and so I myself have not been to Morristown-hamblen Hospital, but know quite a few people who have been treated there. So that's my little personal story there. And Hamblen, if you're like, well, what's Hamblen? Hamblen is the county that Morristown sits in. So Morristown-hamblen is where that name comes from. All right, Claiborne Medical Center, spoiler alert, is in Claiborne County. It's exactly located in Tazewell. It looks like Tazewell because you have a T-A-Z-E. So you think, oh, that's a strong A. What's the word? You know what I'm saying. It's Tazewell, not Tazewell. And it is about an hour 10 northeast of Knoxville, 49 miles, and areas that this is relevant to: Tazewell, New Tazewell, Speedwell, again, you know, kind of in this area. It's out there, okay? No high performing areas, average and below average of what was provided by US News rankings. Next up, we've got Sweetwater. Spoiler alert, it is in Sweetwater Medical Center. This is southwest of downtown. This is like headed towards Chattanooga. No high performing areas for Sweetwater Hospital, but in terms of like what's around, this would be Sweetwater, Nyota, Philadelphia, Madisonville, Vaughan, or so things, you know, kind of past Lenore City, Tellico Village, then you're headed towards Sweetwater. And I actually have clients who, they ended up purchasing a house in Sweetwater because they wanted to be west of town. She works in Turkey Creek, he works from home. And where they found a house in Sweetwater was actually pretty convenient for her to get to work in Turkey Creek. So, you know, it's not unheard of that someone would be, you know, going back and forth from Knoxville to Sweetwater every day. All right, the last one is Newport, and Newport is back on the east side. It's past Sevierville. It's headed towards the North Carolina line. I think headed towards Asheville, excuse me. And then on Newport Medical Center, nothing of note in terms of ranking, high performing, just average and non-rated, a couple below average areas for Newport Medical Center. And then areas that are, in terms of location from Knoxville, sorry, it's about an hour from downtown Knoxville, depending on the direction you take. If you take 40 or you detour off to 11E and then back onto 40, I'm not sure why you would do that. I would just go straight down 40 unless, you know, depending on where you're coming from. But we're talking about 50 miles, about an hour, about just at 50 miles. And areas that are close to this would be obviously Newport, because it's in Newport, Bybee, Cosby, Del Rio, and Parrotsville. Once you start going a little bit further, we start getting into that North Carolina state line. And we're talking about Tennessee here. Okay, so we're gonna stay in Tennessee. All right, so those are your kind of primary hospitals in East Tennessee within a 50-mile radius of downtown Knoxville. So that's 17 total options. And then just for context, Knoxville itself, we talked about six of the 17 are in Knoxville. University of Tennessee Medical Center, Fort Sanders Children's, you know, it's a specialty. Tennova, North Knoxville, Parkwest Medical Center, and Turkey Creek Medical Center. Again, I'm a little bit cautious to even mention Turkey Creek Medical Center because it wasn't even in US News rankings, but it does exist. So I don't know why it wasn't included. And then I'm cautious, like, am I missing something? So these are the majors that are of note for hospitals in the East Tennessee area. Now let's shift a little bit to VA hospitals. So VA hospitals / clinics, lots of outpatient clinics. We've got about 11 within a 50-mile radius of downtown Knoxville and the Knoxville area. In Knoxville itself, of those 11 clinics or outpatient options, 5 of those are in Knoxville. So you've got the William C. Talent Department of Veteran Outpatient Clinic. Now, the other thing that's interesting about every single one of these Knoxville ones are literally, like, there's a map. If you look at the map of these that I provided, check out the map. You see the letter E. A, B, C, D, E. That's 5. All of those are literally, like, in the same place almost. Some of them are in the same shopping center. Some of them are, like, around the block. And some is like one street over, but you can tell from the map. Why does it just say E? Well, because they're so close, and I was zoomed out so far that it's like, oh, it's in the same place. Okay, so William C. Talent, this is kind of what I would consider to be like the biggest in the area. And this one is on Ramirez. It's across from Target. So if you're local or you've been to the Ramirez Target, you literally have passed by this VA clinic. They provide primary care and specialty health services that include mental health, prosthetics, women's health care, lab services, nutrition counseling, social work, and more. Knox West, Knox County, Downtown West, and Kingston Pike County all have specialties, everything from vision care at Knox West to the Kingston Pike VA. It looks like it's strictly just dental. And then the Knox County VA, you've got specialty services that include cardiology, pulmonology, chiropractic, neurology, rheumatology, physical therapy, gastroenterology, and orthopedic surgery. So Knox County VA clinic has more of like the specialty stuff. Downtown West, you got primary care and specialty healthcare services that include mental health, audiology, speech, and more. So those are kind of your Knoxville VA clinics. If we go east, you have the Danny A. Carr Veterans Outpatient Clinic. That's in Sevierville, and that includes primary care and specialty health care services, including women's health care, pharmacy, and more. If we go north of Knoxville, you have the Campbell County VA Clinic, which is in LaFollette. Campbell County, LaFollette, they've got primary care services. Then if we go to Roane County, which we're going, that would be west of Knoxville, kind of northwest. Roane County, think just past Oak Ridge. They've got primary care, mental health, telehealth, lab services, and laboratory services, and social work. All right, Morristown, that's east of Knoxville. They've got primary care. It's just the Morristown VA clinic, and specialty services like women's health care, pharmacy, and more. There's also the Morristown East VA clinic, which has a little bit more. Actually, it's literally the same description, specialty health services, and they're right next to each other. And then I did include the Athens VA clinic, which is just past 15 miles outside of Knoxville, but you might be in Sweetwater, for example, and you might go to the Athens clinic because it's gonna be closer to you than coming into the Downtown West VA clinic. And they've got primary health care, mental health, and lab services. So that is your quick rundown of Knox area hospitals. Again, the Cliff Notes, we've got 3 within the top 10 hospitals in the state of Tennessee. UT Medical, number 1 in Knoxville, number 3 in the state. Parkwest, number 2 in Knoxville, and number 7 in the state, according to US News rankings. And then number 3 would be Fort Sanders, number 3 in Knoxville, number 10 in the state. We do have the one children's hospital. It's East Tennessee Children's Hospital, which, by the way, they put on a fundraiser around Christmas time, the week of Thanksgiving, called Fantasy of Trees. It's literally amazing. I have made a video about it. You've got to go. It's awesome. And then the final thing is that there are 11 VA clinics within a 50-mile-ish radius of downtown Knoxville. In terms of kind of major hospitals in the Knoxville area, you've got about 17, and about 6 of those are within Knoxville itself. So that being said, I hope this has been helpful. Go check out the links that I've provided, check out the maps and all those things. And that being said, I'm Haley Jones. I hope that you like this video. I hope it's helpful as always. Click subscribe, follow along for some more, because I'm always pumping out more stuff for you. So I'll see you on the next video.